And now, as we go to the far reaches in Bartnick's world, maybe, is he?
Hello?
I believe this is Joe Bartnick. You're talking to Mike Richards on Raw Mike Richards. This must be unbelievable for you.
It is. It's always fantastic to talk to Mike Richards. It is amazing. Yeah, I open my eyes. I'm like, I think that's Mike Richards. What a great, beautiful day.
What a gift from God. Speaking of gift from God, we just played Russell's favorite German talk show hosts. I think it was a show about feet. I don't know, but I got to tell you that this is going to be tough to follow if you saw what was on there. German talk show hosts.
I can only imagine what a crap show that is.
Oh, yes, it is. Now, we should address the Penguins right off the top, but I will say this, my friend. Right now, the Capitals are playing the best hockey of I don't know, maybe the last couple of years. Right now, they are really dangerous. I'm not even sure how far they can go. Maybe they go to a Stanley Cup final, but Pittsburgh ran into a juggernaut because right now that's a team that I would not want to play in the Capitals.
Well, first, I don't know how you want me to address it. First of all, I would say I'm either very zen, very naive. I don't know, but I'm taking it very well, according to my wife. I feel like, we won our 2 cups. We didn't lose to the Flyers. I can't really complain. I can't really be upset. I'm really not. In a way, I'm happy for Ovi. Now, as far as the Capitals go, you can never underestimate great goaltending, young legs, and a belief. But I don't think they could beat Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay's going to make it into a track meet. I think Barry Trotz he's one of the best coaches in the league, period. I mean, I think that's a big part of it as well. Holtby is, they've regained confidence in him, and they should because he's, when he's playing well, he's a top 5 goaltender, I think. But at this point, it's almost like psychologically, now that they're more of the hunter than the hunted, I think it's worked for them.
Yes, I mean, definitely on Holtby's fact. It's easy to say 2 years ago Murray won the series. Last year Flower won the series. This year Holtby won the series. I also just think the Capitals' young legs. You saw it with Pittsburgh. When they had Rust and Sherry. As soon as he changed his name from Sherry. He couldn't score a goal anymore. I don't know if that was in jinx or not. And then last year, Jake Mistake, you got to have young legs in the playoffs. Those guys, Conley and Verano, they stepped up. They really did.
Yeah, they really did. What from the Penguins' point of view, just to put a bow on the season, where do they go from here, Joe, in the offseason? Do they do some tinkering? Are they going to lose some players? I know they're really excited about what Jake Gensel did in the postseason because the guy was amazing, and he might even be the leading scorer after this conference round is over because he has so many more points than everybody else. But how do you tinker with this roster, and are you fearing anybody? Maybe getting dropped because of salary cap and all that other business that every single team has to deal with.
Well, I never think they recovered from the Broussard trade. I was not for it when it happened, and they lost Ian Cole. Now I know a lot of fans think, oh my God, it was the end of the world. Ian Cole was replaceable, but they didn't replace him at all. So they definitely need another 5-6 defenseman. I mean, Ruido was a 7. I thought Alexiak played good. I don't know what happened with Hudwick. I wasn't a big fan of acquiring him, and I'm not revisionist history, but they're going to have to find. They need a couple more defensemen. I think they need a little bit more speed on the wings. I think they lost some of their speed, and unfortunately, I think maybe my guy Brian Rust, who I think I did buy the Rust jersey. Because I think he might be one of the guys, he has 2 rings. He still has an upside, and he's a restricted free agent. So I think he's kind of a guy that they might be looking to move just to maybe get another defenseman. Because Daniel Sprong needs to play. He led the AHL in goals. I know it's the AHL, but how he could break the roster over Simon, Simone, unbelievable to me. I mean, also Simone had a bad thumb. Well, he was able to make a trip. That's all I know. He was healthy enough to trip a guy. And then Zach Aston-Reese, when his face gets repaired, he's going to play. So a couple wingers I think are going to go, and I guess Broussard's going to stick around. They didn't seem to blame him, but I don't know if he was ever a good fit for the team. I just don't think he just did not fit in. we basically didn't need him. That's what happened.
Yeah.
I just noticed on the television broadcast side of things that Russell continues to show when you talk the picture of you and Bill Burr from the arena, but it seems to be the only picture that we show of you during the broadcast, and it sort of looks after a while like Bill is your ventriloquist dummy. It's kind of weirding me out. It's kind of, maybe we can find another picture, Russell, because I just think that as close as they are, I don't think it's that close. I'm just saying. That's what I'm throwing that out there. The one thing I'll say before we leave and go into the Western Conference is that sometimes on the back end, for me, Tampa Bay, including in goal, they seem to be a little susceptible. They seem to be a little susceptible to get stuff getting by them, being a little sloppy. So when I take a look at this Capitals team, I said Barry Trotz is one of the best in the business. If it ends up being a little more high scoring than normally you'd see in an Eastern Conference between these two, the total's normally what, Dave, around they're closer to 6 now. If some of these games go over, that's not going to surprise me.
No, that's where I think that Washington has a disadvantage. Is that, let's face it, the Penguins became a 1.5 line team with Gino on one wheel and Phil just whatever was up with Phil. So the Penguins became a 1-line team. Tampa is at least a 3-line team with a 4th line of Callahan and Kunitz and Paquette being able to put the puck in the net. So I think that's Tampa's huge advantage. Even though shockingly, where the Penguins would always eat up the Capitals is, of course, Sid and Gino, and then we usually had Bonino or Cullen. And it always seemed like Kuznetsov never showed up, and Lars Eller was, just kind of mediocre. This year, Kuznetsov was, the Russian superstar they were looking for, and Lars Eller really fit in nicely and played a great role, along with Jay Beagle. So I think Washington is kind of set down the middle right now, especially if action can get back. But I just think Tampa comes in waves. Tampa's secondary scoring, if you want to call it secondary scoring, when Cooch and Stamkos weren't scoring, oh my dear Lord, Point, Palat, Tyler Johnson, they just they come in waves, Tampa. So, and Orpik, he always seems to kind of get a little tired by the end. So we will see. I have no ill will towards the Capitals, though. This is going to be a fun series to watch.
Yeah, it should be, Joe. Speaking of fun series, one concludes tonight in the Western Conference. It's game number 7. Simple question. Who do you got tonight?
Well, my heart says that Winnipeg. I picked Winnipeg.
I know where you're going. We're about to hang up on you, Joe.
I'm sticking with Winnipeg because I question whether Peke or Rene can play 2 good games in a row. And I think that the big boys of Winnipeg either were read the riot act or in their own minds were read the riot act, or maybe just Big Buff threw him in a shower yesterday. But I think they're going to come out, and I don't trust Pekka Rinne. I really don't.
Yeah, and I also this home ice advantage between the two teams has kind of gone out the window. I mean, Winnipeg goes to Nashville and wins 2 out of 3 games. Nashville goes to Winnipeg and does the same thing. It's almost like, from a Jets point of view, I'm nervous as hell about Game 7 because it's Game 7 and we're on no man's land here. And I'm a little edgy, but man, I mean, they're in Nashville. They've done it twice this series. I think they could do it a third time too.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt they do. I mean, they really have to shut down the top line. I mean, literally, Arvidsson and Phil Forsberg it was those two versus Winnipeg.
Yep.
So I think if Winnipeg can find a way just to match up that line, either make sure I think Buff is on the ice for them, because I think Buff has played a ridiculously phenomenal series. And, and it's time for Wheeler and Scheifele to get a point, a goal and an assist each. And then you get the empty netter, and you win 3-1, and then you go up, or then Vegas comes to town.
Yes, exactly.
I just think Winnipeg is really the better team, and they definitely have the better goaltender in my opinion. So it's just weird. Game 7s are always shaky, and it just to lay that egg in Game 6 just has me a little worried. Nobody scored.
Agreed.
Yeah, and it wasn't their game at all. In fact, I argued that it's almost like the sides flipped. They played the game that the Winnipeg normally plays. So, I mean, as you're right, Game 7s are their own animal. They look different than other games, and in this series, we've just seen all kinds of stuff happening. I guess the question is for a lot of people, and Dave, who particularly now hates this team, the Vegas Knights. This is a movie script if you're in Hollywood. And I said, and so when JB says back to me, so you're saying there was never a team before there, and they go to Las Vegas and they become like the best team in 1 year with all shit guys. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
You wouldn't make the movie. It's like the Mighty Ducks or something weird. It just doesn't make any sense. And yet, this is reality. Truth being stranger than fiction. This is what we have in front of us. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. But getting back to the hot goaltending. I mean, Fleury has played ridiculous hockey. He got a little lucky in the last game. A lot of pipes and a lot of behind him, but didn't go in. But Fleury's been phenomenal. And I will say, if you take a great coach, and Gerard Gallant is a great coach, and give him the sixth best player on every team, it's gonna be a good team. It's gonna be better than a high-powered team with an idiot coach, But I think it was very shrewd that the guy he put in Game 6 was Ryan Reeves. Mm-hmm. I thought it was very shrewd of him because they're going to need him if they play Winnipeg. Because Winnipeg is, it's like the Avengers movie. Someone needs to stop Big Buff. Winnipeg is huge. Big Buff is throwing guys. He looks like the Andre the Giant documentary.
Which was really good, by the way, which was really good.
I recorded it, haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. You know what? Further on Ryan Reeves, I completely agree with you. I'm actually surprised, Joe, that it took him this long to actually get him into a series because it's not like the Kings are speed burners. The Sharks do have their players as well, and Ryan Reeves has been used sparingly, and I'll go further than this. I think the Penguins probably could have used Ryan Reeves at times, and I'm not talking about the goal scoring side of it. I'm just talking about having this guy on a bench to be accountable with other teams' players as well, and he takes a regular shift. I like Ryan Reeves. He's a free agent in the offseason. I think a lot of teams could probably get him at a decent price, and he would fit into most lineups.
Well, I think that was, not to get it all back to the Penguins, but I think that was the biggest problem with the Broussard trade. Okay, we give up Cole and every place him, but then we gave up Ryan Reeves too. Yep. And if you think Tom Wilson was going to run around and laugh
Bingo.
When Ryan Reeves is sitting next to him, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the guy can play a little bit. He's not a bad player. That's what I don't think him and Sullivan saw eye to eye, and I think that was maybe some of the problem. And in Sully and JR, we trust, but I'm like, that's water over the dam. But I really think Vegas has a really good chance against the Nashville Predators. I think that Winnipeg has now. It shook me a little bit when they didn't win Game 6. But I think Winnipeg is just a bigger team and I think they're pretty much just as quick as Vegas. Well, but Flowers. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, could be.
Let's get to know Joe Bartnick a little bit. That's what we're going to call. Let's get to know Joe. That's what I'm calling this. So Bartnick is what? That's an Eastern European name. What is the background on that? What is that? What is Bartnick?
I'm 50% Italian and I'm 50% mutt.
Okay, it's even better. So Brad Marchand comes out to Joe Bartnick. The whistle goes, everyone's and then he licks your face. What do you do? What does Joe Bartnick do?
Probably a straight right hand.
Yeah, I agree. I'm there. See, yeah. I'm there too.
Yeah,
I'm there too. Someone, unless it's Cindy Crawford or something, or I don't know, Penelope Cruz is in there for me. I don't see how guys don't do that. Grapes, I love Grapes. Don Cherry, loved him for years, know him very well, who didn't mind that stuff, but I couldn't. I just think it makes the organization look bad. I don't want to have a liquor on my team. You can't have a liquor.
Well, it's better than a sucker, but...
yeah, that's a penalty. That definitely the unnecessary sucking to me would be, okay, you are out of here, mister.
Or a straight ticket for the Lady Bing, depending on any way you look at it. But,
I just thought it's so bizarre.
Well, what gets me about the rat is like that doesn't even bother me. In a way, I think it's kind of funny. That doesn't bother me. It's when he low bridges people.
Oh God,
that's what bothers me.
Yeah,
you're going to talk to him about licking somebody. How about talking to him about ending somebody's career?
Yeah,
like, That's what gets me about the rat. He doesn't have to do that either.
No.
I mean, a little bit of Rat's fun. A little bit of Tommy Wilson's fun.
Yeah.
The only guys I don't like are, are like the Cookie Monster.
Right.
But I will say this, and this is what got me about Tommy Wilson, is, you know what? He jumped a little bit in the last one. I think they paid him back for the. I think the Wenberg hit was the worst one personally. And then when he went in on Dumoulin, he's already tangled up with Ovechkin. You're just trying to hurt somebody. There's no need for a hit. But that's terrible, Tommy. But then you don't want to fight Alexiak. If you want to run around and hit people, you gotta pay the piper. That's what always gets me about Orpik. And I think Orpik caused the Penguins so much crap over the years by going around and wanting to hit people, but then doesn't want to fight.
Yeah.
It's not the way the game's played. It's not the way the game's played.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, where are you playing lately? Where are the gigs taking you? Where's the Travels of Bartnick? Where's that going?
Well, I'm playing Dad now, just doing sets around L.A. for about the next month, and then I go on a big. Then I'm going out with Bill in the end of June, July, and then in July and August, I'm gonna be all over the New England area, doing like a New England beach tour.
East Coast,
with Boston. Gonna get some seafood and some some good stuff. So I'm trying to get back to Toronto. I know they're not booking me. I'll have to get some Mike Richards. We'll do some band show or something.
Yeah, and cigars smoking and all kinds of things. Russell was saying, what about? Russell said human sacrifices. Human sacrifices. I said, Russell, no, we don't. That's not a thing for us. But we'll put on a show. Sure.
Oh, absolutely. We should have like a meet and greet with get like a Crown Royal sponsored. Come hang out with Mike Richards, Dave Bassel, and a inebriated Joe Bartnick.
Yeah, that's a great show. Hey, Joe, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Always a pleasure. It's always a great time having you on, buddy. We'll talk to you again real soon. You guys are the best. I love Mike Richards. I love Dave Bassel. And Dave, come on Puck Off next week for like a game two. Game two recap.
Offer accepted, Joe. Thanks, partner. We'll talk to you soon. Text me anytime.
Thanks, Joe.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
That is Joe Bartnick giving us a call this morning. Always one of our favorite guys.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.